Chapter 47 Narration of story by Sri Sai, as well present in This is my local directory. Story of Veerabhadra's Punarjanma. OV 34. I am going to repeat the story exactly as Mother Sai narrated it and as I heard it and remember it. Sai himself is the biographer who gets the story written down in detail. Hemad is only an instrument, of whom Sai is the controller. One day in the morning, around 8 o'clock, having had breakfast as usual, I set out for a walk. Feeling tired from the walk, I reached a river bank. I washed my feet and bathed, which refreshed me. And how big was the river? It was the size of the river in Rahata. There was overflowing water and bushes grew abundantly on its banks. There was a footpath and also a road for vehicles. On the banks there was a thick cluster of trees which provided excellent shade. There was a cool and soothing breeze which delighted me. Gazing at the cluster of trees, I sat at ease in the shade. As I was about to fill the chillam, and for that purpose to moisten the cloth or chappi, I heard the croaking of what seemed to be a frog. It was no wonder, as there are frogs always near the water. So I moistened the cloth and returned and took the flint in my hand. Flint is the stone with which one can create a fire. When a spark arose from striking the flint, and the chillam was lighted and ready, a wayfarer came and sat near me after bowing to me. Respectfully taking the chillam in his hands from me, he said, "You seem to have travelled a long distance. The masjid is far from here. It will become hot by the time you go there. My house is across the river. Let us go there after smoking the chillam. You can have something to eat and rest a while there. Then, when the sun goes down a little, you can return comfortably. I will also come with you." After speaking thus, the wayfarer lit the chillam and gave it to me to puff with reverence. At that time, that frog began to croak loudly and piteously, whereupon the wayfarer asked who was crying out. Then I said, "A frog has got into great difficulty at the river bank because of its past actions. Listen, I will narrate its story. We have to reap what we sow in our past life. One should endure one's destiny calmly. There is no use crying about it." After hearing this, the wayfarer handed over the chillam in my hands and set out from there saying, "I will go and see and return. Is it really a frog or some other creature? Let me see also for myself what is its problem." Seeing that was his wish, I said, "Go and see and return. A frog has been caught in the mouth of a big snake, and that's why it is crying. Both are very wicked, and the deeds of both of them have been dreadful. The sins of their past lives have been terrible, and they have been born in another form of existence to suffer the fruit of their action." After I gave this opinion, the wayfarer went to that spot and returned after seeing what was actually happening. He confirmed the true situation. The snake is deadly with a large jaw. The frog too is frightful, but it is going to be eaten by the snake. He has an existence for a short while. He has become an offering in the snake's mouth. What a strange fate! Soon he will no longer exist. Then I said to him, "How can he kill him? After all, I am its father here. Why should I be here then? Have I left my own abode and come here to permit that frog to be eaten? Watch how I get it released. After ending this struggle, we will go to our own homes. Go and fill that chillam once more, then let's see what the snake does." The chillam was made ready immediately. The wayfarer lit it himself and took a deep drawn puff, presented it to me, and I took it in my hands to smoke. I took a couple of deep puffs and then, taking the wayfarer with me, went to that lush green grass and reached that specific spot. Seeing that snake again, the wayfarer was frightened. "How huge it is," he said, and clutched me with terror. He said, "Do not go any further. The snake will come towards us. This place is too narrow if we decide to run. No, do not go there." Seeing this scene, the wayfarer was afraid for his life. Then hear this advice in respect of the enmity of both. "Oh, Virabhadra, has not your enemy Basappa yet repented, though he has been as a frog? You too, though born as a snake, still maintain bitter and mortal enmity. At least now be ashamed, and giving up your enmity, remain at peace." No sooner than the words were uttered, the snake left the frog and fled by quickly, entering into the deep waters. He disappeared from there. Escaping from the jaws of death, the frog with a rebounding jump went and hid into the thicket. The wayfarer was filled with surprise. He said, "I do not understand anything. No sooner than you spoke, how did the snake release the frog, and how the snake too hid himself?" Out of this, who is Virabhadrapa and who is Basappa? The wayfarer asked for the reason for the enmity and said, "Please tell me about it." "Very well, let us go and sit in the shade under the trees and smoke the chillum again," he said. "Then I will satisfy your curiosity and afterwards go back to my place." We both came near the trees where the shade was dense. A cool gentle breeze was blowing. We again lit the chillum. The wayfarer smoked it first, then handed it over to me. While smoking it, I told this beautiful story to that wayfarer. There existed a holy place some 2 or 3 kos away from where I lived, which was ancient and full of glory. Kos is a distance where if one shouts from a tower, his shout can be heard at the next place. So that means that a kos at a different place, depending upon the kind of the weather, humidity, etc., the kos distance would vary from one place to other. So it's approximately probably more than a kilometer generally. There was an old dilapidated temple of Shiva there, which everyone thought about renovating. For that purpose, a large contribution was raised. A good amount was collected. Arrangements were made for worship and other rites, and detailed plans were made for it. A rich local man was appointed as the manager there. The monies were handed over to him, and he was put in full charge. He was to keep a separate and independent account and enter in the cash contributions that were collected. He was to do this work without fail and honestly. But he was a great miser by nature. He did the work in such a way that he had to bear no loss. Therefore, the work could not be completed. The whole amount was spent, but the work was only half done. He did not spend any of his own money, not even a farthing. Though he was a big moneylender, he was miserliness incarnate. He spoke sweet words falsely, but did not put them into action. The people who had contributed to the funds gathered at his home and said, "What is the use of your position as a wealthy man? If you do not solidly and financially support the renovation of the Shiva temple, how will the work be completed? Think of this. We will appeal once again to the people and collect more contributions. We will send all the money to you. See that this work is completed." Further monies were collected and handsome amounts were received, but they were not put to any use at all. The rich man sat quietly. So be it. After some time, the Lord decided to take the matter in his own hands. The rich man's wife had a dream vision at that time. "At least you should wake up and act. Go and build the dome for the temple. Nilkant will give you 100 times the amount you spent." The next day she described in detail the dream vision to her husband. For him, who felt that it was the end of life to spend even a farthing, this was most upsetting. For him, who thought only of amassing money day and night and had no other purpose in life, the meaning of this dream vision, which involved unnecessary spending of money, of that how could he be convinced? He told his wife, "Oh, do not believe in this vision. I have absolutely no faith in it." And he started ridiculing her. One perceives the world as per his own inclinations. Being a rascal himself, he saw others in the same plight. If God intended that my money should be spent, was I far away from you? Why did he appear in your dream? Why did you alone have this vision? Why didn't God give it to me? Therefore, I have no faith in it. I have not understood its meaning. It is either a bad dream or it is an effort on God's part to create a rift between husband and wife. These are the only two alternatives that I see. Am I not making sufficient contribution in the renovation work? Every month the bad that is filled gets bag that is filled gets empty. People bring all the amounts. This is what appears to be true outwardly, but the accounting procedure for the receipts and expenses is a commercial one. It is a losing proposition for me. For rest of the slides, post 97, we will cover it later. Namaste.